The health emergency disaster due to the spread of the novel Wuhan coronavirus, also known as COVID-19, is a type of influenza, and it continues to bring challenges and new forms of communicating, ways of doing business or not, and general altered living conditions, as a stay-at-home order means that everyone's life has changed this spring. DCTV Daily News and partners continue to work diligently to bring you the latest information and how this impacts you, the community. Wash your hands, stay well and strong. I'm Kendra Cook, your host for the DCTV Daily News program out of Dove Creek, Colorado. The Dolores County Broadcasting Network is the producer of DCTV with support from the Southwest Colorado TV Translator Association. That's the special district association responsible for bringing the area free to access TV stations over the air by antenna, the old-fashioned way. This is a community TV station. If there is a news story or event information that you would like to share, you can call us. It's 970-677-4119. Leave a message. And if you are a business or organization, we welcome you to find out about sponsorship opportunities for banners or video segments run on the channel. This is the Friday program for April 17th, 2020, DCTV Daily News. The Colorado Sun reports through the Durango Herald with photo Jesse Paul, the Colorado Sun. Governor Jared Polis on Wednesday sent a clear message to the Coloradans that they will have to endure measures to limit their movement for many months to come, though to a lesser degree, in order to keep the new coronavirus from spreading out of control. Quote, "We want to dispel any notion that we can go back to the way things were," Polis said. The governor laid out a multi-pronged approach to keep the coronavirus from infecting too many people, including increased testing, tailored social distancing measures, a reinforced healthcare system, and a bolstering of state epidemiological resources. He said large public gatherings will be banned until further notice, and bars and restaurants won't operate as they used to when they begin to reopen. He said that the stay-at-home order currently in effect until April 26, during what he describes as an, quote, urgent phase of the disease, isn't sustainable, but that things will have to gradually move towards a new normal. "I wish that relaxing restrictions was like turning a light switch on and off," Polis said during a briefing with reporters at the governor's mansion. Instead, he said, altering restrictions on Coloradans' movement will be more like using a dimmer to change the levels on a light. The plans are set to be deployed once Polis's stay-at-home order expires. The governor has said that his April 26 timeline could be moved. Right now, Polis said, the state is experiencing a plateau in new coronavirus cases. It needs to be a decline, he said. We hope it's a decline. The next 5 or so days will indicate whether the decline is occurring, Polis said, as the effects of the stay-at-home order issued in late March are borne out. Quote, "Coronavirus is going to be part of our lives," he said. "We're going to have to live with it." As of Wednesday afternoon, there were 8,280 confirmed cases of the virus in Colorado. At least 357 people have died, representing some form of COVID-19 in their report, and more than 1,630 of the patients with confirmed cases have been or are hospitalized. The Colorado Hospital Association reported Wednesday that about 500 people who were hospitalized because of the virus have been released since Sunday. UC Health alone reported that it has released 370 patients from its hospitals since they began receiving coronavirus patients. Polis said that keeping his stay-at-home order in place for a much longer period of time, even though it appears to be working to slow the spread of the virus, is not sustainable. Quote, "Our goal is to figure out how we can have a sustainable way of not overwhelming our healthcare system," he said. "The challenge is how do we create a sustainable way to live for the many months that the virus will be with us? The answer is not staying at home for many months. It's not possible economically. People need to support themselves. It's not possibly psychologically. Humans are social animals," end quote. The governor conceded that people will be hospitalized and die from the virus in the coming weeks and months. But he said that's inevitable because there's no way to eliminate COVID-19, the disease caused by the coronavirus in the U.S. That's not America's goal. It can't possibly be Colorado's goal because we don't control who moves here across other states, he said. If somehow we had severe policies that eliminated the virus from Colorado, we'd be reinfected the next day by somebody who was visiting from another state. The governor said he is working with officials in states bordering Colorado on plans to work together to limit coronavirus spread and also share resources. The governor said restrictions will have to be in place as long as there isn't a coronavirus vaccine, a proven effective treatment, or so many people have been sickened that what they call herd immunity has been reached. Polis was asked about people who have called his coronavirus restrictions tyrannical and even compared them to Nazism. As a Jewish American who lost family in the Holocaust, I'm offended by any comparison to Nazism, he said, tearing up and choking back emotion. We act to save lives, the exact opposite of the slaughter of 6 million Jews and many Gypsies and Catholics, gays and lesbians and Russians and so many others. That being said, we know that these steps are difficult. He added, it's not a contest to see what you can get away with. It's a contest to see how well you can stay at home. And next week, DCTV will be covering the phases and processes that our local area will be considering for moving out of the stay-at-home phase without increasing health risks to our population as best we can. And now let's take a look at the local weather. Today, mostly sunny with a high near 56 degrees. Tonight, partly cloudy and a low around 35. For Saturday, we see a 30% chance for showers for the afternoon. Partly sunny with a high near 56 degrees with southeast winds at 5 to 10 miles an hour with gusts to 20 miles an hour. Into Saturday night, looking for a 20% chance for showers before midnight, mostly cloudy and a low around 35 with west winds 5 to 10 miles an hour becoming light and variable in the evening. And now that may linger into Sunday with a 20% chance of showers again developing in the afternoon. Partly sunny skies with a high near 59, light and variable winds becoming west-southwest 5 to 10 miles an hour in the morning, but winds could gust as high as 20. Sunday night, mostly cloudy and a low around 37 degrees. And then into next week, Monday, we're looking for partly sunny skies and a high near 60 degrees. Monday night, mostly cloudy and a low around 38. Tuesday, a slight chance for showers and thunderstorms after 10 a.m. in the morning on Tuesday. Mostly cloudy with a high near 58 degrees. For Tuesday night, mostly cloudy and a low around 37. And then for Wednesday, we get back to a sunny day with a high near 64 degrees. Wednesday night, partly cloudy and a low around 38. And now let's get back to the news. From the Journal with a photo, Navajo Nation and AP. The Navajo Nation saw one of its biggest surges in positive COVID-19 cases this past weekend, and the numbers continued to rise this week, tribal leaders said. On Wednesday afternoon, the Navajo Department of Health, Navajo Area Indian Health Service, and the Navajo Epidemiology Center attributed 38 deaths to COVID-19 and reported 921 confirmed coronavirus cases, 115 of them discovered during the Easter weekend. The agencies also reported 3,239 negative cases as of Wednesday. It's very saddening to receive the new numbers each day. There are a lot of grieving families, and there's a lot of work yet to be done, said Navajo Nation President Jonathan Nez in a news release this past Monday. Nez said the nation saw positive results during the 57-hour weekend curfew, which ran 8 p.m. Friday to 5 a.m. on Monday. Earlier this week, Nez announced that the weekend curfew would continue for 2 weekends in April and close essential businesses during the weekend hours as the virus spreads. Everyone needs to plan ahead for the weekend curfews. Purchase what you need during the week, but do so in a safe manner, Nez said on Thursday. The projections are alarming, but the decisions and actions of the public are the biggest factor when it comes to the numbers of positive cases. Nez acknowledged frustration with reports of Navajos traveling to towns after receiving federal stimulus checks. Quote, "We're fighting hard, but it's very disheartening when we receive reports of large numbers of our own people traveling and crowding stores in border towns," he said. The first new weekend curfew will begin Friday at 8 p.m. and end Monday at 5 a.m. The second will begin Friday, April 24th at 8 p.m. and end on Monday, April 27th at 5 a.m. The Navajo Nation issued the 57-hour weekend curfew last week, limiting travel to essential businesses with proper documentation. The curfew was meant to minimize the spread of the virus throughout the reservation. The public health order was subject to citations and fines if people were found on non-essential business and without documentation from an employer. The Navajo Police Department announced earlier this week it had issued more than 115 Navajo Nation criminal nuisance citations for curfew violations over the weekend. More than 120 officers in 7 police districts helped to implement the curfew, issue public service announcements, staff checkpoints, and enforce the public health order the department's news release said. The enforcement was successful in that we saw a decline in the number of people traveling during the weekend, said Navajo Police Chief Philip Francisco. An operation of this capacity takes a lot of planning and coordination, and our districts did a great job in enforcement efforts. Francisco added the stay-at-home order and daily curfew requiring everyone to stay at home from 8 p.m. to 5 a.m. remains in effect. Shortly after Navajo Nation leaders called the curfew a success, the police department announced 2 employees tested positive for COVID-19 on Tuesday. The employees are in self-quarantine and are monitoring their symptoms, the department said. Our employees' health and well-being is a priority, and as essential employees working in the field of public safety, we are not immune from the possibility of having one of our law enforcement family contract the virus, Francisco said. As the numbers of positive cases increase across the Navajo Nation, so does our risk of being exposed. Navajo Nation leaders also hope to have faster test results soon, Navajo Area Indian Health Services said. The agency announced Monday that it would receive rapid COVID-19 test kits at its healthcare facilities. Previously, results took 3 to 4 days. The upcoming weeks are going to be very challenging, and we need everyone to support one another, said Navajo Nation Vice President Myron Leiser on Tuesday. This is an opportunity to show the world how strong we are as Dene people and to demonstrate our resilience once again. The New Mexico Department of Health reported 1,597 positive cases out of 34,488 total tests as of Thursday evening. There have been 44 COVID-19 related deaths in the state. San Juan County reported 229 cases, that's in Utah, and 13 deaths according to the state's data. The county has completed that's in New Mexico. The county has completed 1,877 tests as of Thursday evening. The breakdown Wednesday of the 921 confirmed positive cases by Navajo Nation County are Navajo County, Arizona, 288, Apache County, Arizona, 121, Coconino County, I'm definitely pronouncing that wrong, Arizona was 189, McKinley County, New Mexico, 170, San Juan County, New Mexico, 119, Cibola County, New Mexico, 12, San Juan County, Utah, 11, Socorro County, New Mexico, 7, and Sandoval County, New Mexico, 4. And the Durango Herald wrote about the gasoline pricing with a photo Patrick Armijo. 2 months ago, Southwest Coloradans were enjoying the lowest gas prices in the state. Durango even briefly recorded the lowest gas prices in Colorado. And even more surprising, pump prices were about 30 cents higher than they are today. Now, excluding luxury resort markets like Aspen and Telluride, Durango has the highest prices in Colorado. Even Vail, with a price of $184 per regular unleaded, had lower prices than Durango's average of $216 on Wednesday, except for that they apparently don't know what our prices are in Dolores County. On Thursday, prices had dropped to $2.11 at Peerless Tires in Durango and to $2.15 in Cortez Speedway Station. What gives? When here in Dove Creek, we hold around $2.49. Wade Litt, an assistant professor of economics at Fort Lewis College, and Skylar McKinley, Director of Public Relations and Government Affairs for AAA Colorado, agree on 2 principal reasons why market gods no longer favor our region. First, much of Southwest Colorado is a drive-to tourist destination, and older, more expensive gasoline is staying in underground tanks at gas stations longer because a good chunk of the market, tourists, are not arriving and buying down that stockpile. That means gas station owners want to at least break even on their more expensive gas that remains in underground tanks. The drop in crude oil price is more rapidly reflected on the Front Range and in Albuquerque, where supplies are turned over more quickly. And second, fewer competitors in small markets like Durango, Cortez, and Pagosa Springs means less incentive for gas stations to lower prices. The gasoline business is a relatively low-margin commodity, and because owners have only 3 or 4 other competitors in Southwest Colorado, there's less competition on price than in metropolitan areas where scores of companies are driving down prices. There's bigger margin on the Diet Coke in the convenience store, and that's why they want you to stop and shop, McKinley said. The price of oil has fallen dramatically this year, with most of that fall occurring since early March and the outbreak of COVID-19. West Texas Intermediate, the crude oil that supplies much of the United States, had a peak price this year on January 6th at $63.27. Its low price was set March 30th at $14.10, and it finished this past Wednesday at $19.87, more than a 68% drop. That certainly has not been reflected in the gas prices in Southwest Colorado. Southwest Colorado is a driver destination tourist market, and a lot of this gas just isn't leaving the tank. Again, McKinley reported that the travel restrictions that were brought on by COVID-19 pandemic have had an impact on that. It's very likely that somebody in Southwest Colorado might have bought gas for a much more expensive rate, but in Albuquerque and in Metro Denver, they'll get that price out the door pretty quickly, and then they'll buy the cheaper gas, McKinley said. Litt said he expects gasoline prices will decrease over time in Southwest Colorado as the older, more expensive gas depletes and if the crash in oil prices continues. We would expect to see prices decline over time, he said. In urban centers, they're going to go through gas a lot faster. They're turning it over more quickly, as we've reported. Witt also said more competition in cities help explain relatively higher prices in Durango, Cortez, and these smaller towns. There's just less incentive for them to drop prices. Prices are more inelastic in smaller markets, and the people who still do need to drive, they're frustrated, he said. They see the prices, but if you just don't have the competition, they can keep the prices high. And today's High Canyon Country happenings here in Colorado. The stay-at-home order is in effect until April 26th so far. That's all through next week and opening back up in some degree a week from Monday. That's a lot of time in between for lots of orders and other decisions to be made, so the future is still in flux. The best scenario that is being suggested on the federal and local levels is a planned phase-in reopening of businesses, but it will not look like business as usual at all. Expect to see continued social distancing regulations for businesses and consumers alike. Masks are looking to be the new spring fashion trend, and to some extent there is hope the covering of people's faces will prevent transmission of bodily fluids. There are many task forces and agency groups and committees all trying to get a unified messaging front for our Southwest Colorado area. That's as to what is expected from the residents and the business owners and how best to work towards reestablishing economic positive flow. Next week, we'll have a report on what those plans are looking like for our local area. For now, here in Dolores County, we remain at 0 confirmed cases. Also for next week, I'll be working on a story covering the challenges and confusion over the novel coronavirus COVID-19 identification process, testing variations, and some other interesting considerations surrounding germ theory and contagion and exosomes. You won't want to miss that. But for now, I'll repeat the standard word from the state government issued numbers down to you, with the summary of 4/16 updated at 4 p.m. with 8,675 cases, 1,693 hospitalized people, 56 counties with at least one case, and 41,830 people apparently tested, with sadly 374 deaths related in some regard to COVID-19. And I post up all of these High Canyon Country happenings on our Facebook page, which is DCTV Daily News, where you can also watch the program replays along with news links and stories of local interest. And you too can share other events or news and join in on the conversation. Again, this is your local community TV station, so if you have something you'd like to share, contact us. It's dcbnnews@gmail.com if you want to email me, or call the station 970-677-4119. Thanks for tuning in to DCTV Daily News. Programs are broadcast Monday through Friday with replays online on our YouTube channel or our DCTV Daily News Facebook page. If you like the program, please do like and follow us on Facebook and share it with your family and friends. This has been a production of DCTV for the DCTV Daily News program out of Dove Creek, Colorado, USA. I'm Kendra Cook. Again, thank you for watching.